Hi everyone. Well, the first sun in quite a few days in Sedona, so I'm making this video outside. And this video is to be by way of my own response to the discussion post for week 1, which is about introducing ourselves, but also talking about our own worldview and the influence of science on it. And so I wanted to give you some of my background so you know who you're dealing with here. And I'm out in nature because my current worldview is one that involves our relationship with the natural world and being a part of the natural world, and the natural world being full of meaning, intelligence, life, in a way that I don't think our societal worldview believes. So this would be, I suppose, influenced or closer to an indigenous worldview, but it's also one that's coming from my own experience with the natural world. And then from thinking deeply about our relationship with nature and the effect of science, the beliefs of science. So, and I grew up in the country in England and loving nature, basically, and spending, I think I wasn't comfortable as a kid, but when I was out in nature, playing in a stream or anywhere by myself, I think I was pretty comfortable, and I felt very connected and part of the world that I was in. And I thought that the way to get closer to those things that I loved was to study them more, and that took me into the world of science, and so I went down a scientific path, and that was encouraged in England because they assumed that an art path was you weren't going to be very productive and you weren't going to be able to get a job. So if you had any talent in science, they were going to encourage it. So I went down the science route, and I just went deeper and deeper into science, and through a PhD in geophysics, and then I was on the faculty at the University of Washington in Earth and Space Sciences. And I found that I found myself increasingly distant from the natural world in this process, increasingly separated from it, feeling separated from it, studying it, knowing a lot more about the natural world than I ever knew, but not feeling connected to it. And so that was, ultimately that was not satisfying for me, and I left that career, that path, to pursue a more inward inquiry into this, who I was and my own relationship to the natural world. And that involved going to Naropa University in Boulder and doing a master's degree in religious studies there, and then it's led me to Sedona eventually, to really pursue my love of nature and my relationship with nature. And so it's been a long journey with science, and in that journey I found that I had to recover from that separation that happened, and the separation that I felt, and I think was probably shared by all of my colleagues at the university or in my field, that separation was actually not intrinsic to being a scientist. Ultimately, I discovered that it's like there's nothing in science that tells me that I have to feel separate from the world. But in science, there's an unspoken belief structure that says that the world is mechanical, the world is machine-like, and this comes all the way from Descartes. We're going to be going through this, but and when you become a scientist, you take on, without knowing it, you take on these unspoken beliefs, and so And that's where that separation came from. But as I looked around, I felt like that belief structure was affecting our entire society. So I felt like that was something I wanted to know, why we had that belief structure. Was it justified? And if it's not, then how do we move forward? How do we undo it? So that became a great interest to me, and that's what this course has come out of, that long journey of my own, and trying to inside of my own self resolve the conflicts between the scientific self that I might have and a spiritual, nature-loving, nature-belonging self. So, and this course has really come out of that, and we'll take this journey, and it's really kind of, in some ways, retracing the steps that I took. I feel like our society, the steps that I took in getting into science, were very much like the ones our society took over a much longer period of time. So in a way, we've all taken that journey because we live in a society that has taken that journey through the scientific revolution into what we call modernity, and the beliefs, the worldviews of modernity. So, and therefore we're all in a way working with a belief structure that separates us. And I know many of you will have come to belief structures that come to belief structures and practices that undo that. But the fact is, we've all got to try and undo something. We're not naturally, at least the most of us, not naturally. We don't naturally find ourselves with a worldview that integrates us with nature and with spirituality. So it's something we've got to work at, and this course is really about working at that. And I think even if we have a well-developed spiritual sense, we still are potentially at odds with the programming and conditioning and beliefs that we sit within in our society. So, and hence the need, I think, for courses like this, and that's what's motivated me. But anyway, so my journey has led me to this place where I still would think of myself as a scientist, I suppose. I still have great curiosity about nature, but there's so much more for me than what I see, and at times I actually experience some of that more, related very much to this land around here and the hiking that I do in it and everything. It's ultimately perhaps the experience of love as a component of the landscape. But there are many in history who've written about this kind of thing, but it's not very scientific. At least we don't think of it as being very scientific currently, and my hope would be that would change. So anyway, that's some of my history with science, and how it's impacted my spirituality has been, I've had to work against an inner belief structure, strong inner belief structure that would really deny spirit from the world. And so that's been work for me, but my experiences have shown me otherwise. It's shown me that my belief structures that I inherited are not correct. So and then through coming through this process, I've grown to see that science was never intrinsically that way. It's something we made science that way. And that's something that could be corrected. There could be a kind of course correction in science and how it's taught, and that science actually could constructively enhance a spiritual path, I do believe. So that's just my journey, and I'm looking forward to sharing all of yours and moving through retracing the steps of our society and seeing how we might recover. Okay, I'll see you in the next video, hopefully outside.